Ladies and gentlemen, I have absolutely massive news for you. It is currently August 24th, 2022. It's around evening time here in New York City. And earlier today, chess.com put in an offer to buy Play Magnus Group. Now, in this video, I'm gonna have a few different parts, all right? We're gonna split the video into actually reading about the news, and then we're gonna talk about three major points. What does this actually mean? Why did this happen? And the positives and negatives of this fallout. There's gonna be no chess whatsoever. It's just gonna be me talking. Hopefully you find that interesting. So, first things first. This is the article, all right? The offer was made to Play Magnus Group. I'm gonna show you the article on this website. I'm gonna show you the article on the Chess24 website. They're excited to announce they've submitted an offer to Play Magnus Group. Play Magnus Group is a company that has a partial stake ownership by Magnus Carlsen, 9%, according to a New York Times article from several years ago. I apologize for the very light, they don't have dark theme here. Private entity called Magnus Chess, which they made when Magnus was younger to handle his winnings. They own 9% of Play Magnus Group. So Magnus owns 9% of Play Magnus Group. This process will take 6 to 8 weeks to finalize. They're thrilled of the prospect about working together. There was this beautiful video of Danny and Magnus earlier today talking about it. You know, they want to grow the game. They've had very positive experience talking about the possibilities of the future. I'm very excited to be a part of it, said Magnus Carlsen. And yeah, Play Magnus Group was from 2013. Now, a couple of different things. First of all, on the Chess24 website, it says that they're going to acquire 100% of the shares. And it says the offer values Play Magnus Group at $82.5 million. If you use that calculation, 9%, and Magnus owns 85% of Magnus Chess, he could make about 6 to 7 million. Not so bad, Magnus. Not so bad, if I may say so myself. Swing a little bit of that, Magnus, you know what I'm saying? You know, when one of your friends gets a deal, yo, swing that. You paying for stuff today. And then it's basically, first of all, chess.com's company apparently is called Growth Co. The more you know. And it's just more of the same. I will throw that article in. It's about a bunch of hype. I mean, listen, for all the stuff I get, you know, putting this guy into everything, all my thumbnails. I mean, listen, he's a fascinating individual and everybody loves Magnus, right? Magnus, you know, I am ready. We have some news to share. It was actually very low key, the entire announcement. Okay, so here's a couple of things. They're going to be bought for $82.5 million. This is a photo of everything that Play Magnus Group owns. Over the last year or two, they have bought every website not named chess.com or leechess.org. They have bought everybody, not me. They haven't bought my website. But so there's Chessable. Chessable is an intense course website. They have like this whole method that they use for like drilling and like you can like memorize stuff. That's an intense website. Champions Chess Tour is Champions Chess Tour. Chess24 is Chess24. You know what that is. Meltwater obviously is the major sponsor there and everything else. They basically bought every small website that was designed to help you improve the game of chess, including Simon Williams. Simon Williams is Ginger GM. So yeah, let's talk, okay? Let's talk about what this means. First things first, I made a little section, a little notes. What does this actually mean? So this means that some people are gonna make some money. I don't know how exactly corporate takeover works, right? I don't exactly know what that means. And by the way, like I said, all these different subjects will be covered, so you can jump around. The first thing this means is that Magnus is going to play in chess.com events. He's never done that before unless he was feeling like edgy or cool. It means that we're going to see Magnus in the Speed Chess Championship. We're going to see Magnus in Title Tuesday. We're going to see more content and events built around Magnus Carlsen, which is great. Now, I'm not the only one that has to put him in all my thumbnails. Everybody's going to put him in all their thumbnails. Hikaru already put him in his thumbnail in the announcement of this video. Magnus and Hikaru on the same team. Look, I mean, like, duh, he's Magnus, right? So Magnus is going to be playing in a lot more chess.com events, more stuff going to be built around him. We're going to see a lot of Magnus and Hikaru events. I hope we do. Are you nuts? If we don't see a Magnus Hikaru death match, you know how much money I would pay to watch a chess boxing match between Magnus and Hikaru? That's probably not something that we're going to see. It also means a lot of people are now competing for third place. I saw people were like, oh, Hikaru's not going to win Title Tuesday again. I mean, listen, when Magnus plays in anything, it's kind of like, you know, ordinary to imagine that. But imagine they actually built up a very big rivalry in Title Tuesday and whatnot. They will always look forward to their games. It's going to be great. It's something that we've wanted forever. This literally scratches the itch of so many of us, right? It also means that people who were following Magnus on other platforms, like a Chess24, for example, will most likely migrate over to watching these chess.com events. It means more viewers and users into chess.com's events, which is good long term. And I will explain that a little bit later. Some of you who support, you know, like Lee Chess or Chess24, I mean, I don't think a lot of people in that debate are like Chess24 over the other two. You know what I mean? It's kind of a chess.com Chess debate, and then everyone's like, yo, you play on Chess24? You know, like that sound that's like, my papa drives a Rolls Royce, and then Chess24 is like, my dad drives a Ram 1500. Yeah, so anyway, no disrespect. Anyway. Now, what else does this mean? So all of these companies owned by Play Magnus Group, all of that revenue now goes to, and all of that, like, intellectual property goes to chess.com, and the investors, I mean, it doesn't go to Danny Wrench, okay? It's another thing you guys gotta realize. Danny Wrench is the man, like, in front of the camera at all times. He's the man making the announcements. Folks, you know how much money is involved in the back? You know how much, like, wealthy billionaires are investing into companies like this without ever appearing in front of anything? Danny Wrench is not gonna make $100 million off this deal. And Danny, if you are, I better get a raise on my next agreement with chess.com. So that's kind of what that means. This is sort of like just what's gonna happen next. That's what it seems like. The offer is not exactly official yet. They're still working out the logistics. Now, why did this happen? Whole new section. Why did this happen? So I saw some theories. The major theory that I saw was Play Magnus did an incredible job, like, building the online tour and last year buying all of these companies. But that hasn't paid off, because last year was the perfect year to get sponsorships into chess. FTX Crypto Cup, Aim Things Masters. I'm going to name all their sponsors. I mean, hello, right? Like, honestly, for all the negative that is brought. Like, at the end of the day, last year was a year everybody wanted to spend money on chess to get their brand name out there. Okay, get the company out there, whatever they do. But has the usership caught up? Has the interface been good enough? I think Chessable makes the most money of any arm of Play Magnus Group, and I'm not sure how many of you know this, but there was an announcement not too long ago from Chessable. Apologies, light theme coming up. Over the last years, they've been growing. This was a few months ago. Despite Chessable's expanded operations, growth has become more challenging. What seems like a very sudden shift in macroeconomic climate, recession, COVID, Russian invasion of Ukraine, and so on, and other things, right? And so they laid off a lot of people. I don't remember how many of this was. 29 colleagues. It was something like half or like a quarter of their workforce. And we're talking about the most successful arm of Play Magnus Group. Like, this is like a course platform. I sell courses, right? This is like a massive operation, which they still had to lay off a bunch of people because product wasn't at the quality that people want. There's a lot of beginners and intermediate players in chess, and learning there is not necessarily as easy sometimes. I don't know what the reason is. I'm hypothesizing. So that was one of the theories, right? It was a financial thing. If you hear a chainsaw outside, I'm sorry. Someone's cutting something. Another two things that are not theories. These things are just logical things. It seems logical to combine the biggest star in chess, not named Levi Rosman, who's already under GothamChess. I'm just kidding. But Magnus Carlsen. I am under chess.com, but, I'm not the biggest star. Magnus Carlsen with chess.com. Chess.com, for all the beef some of you have with it and whatnot, they know how to run things. All right? They know how to run a big chess website. But more than anything else, they know how to make chess mainstream. And that is the point that we're missing here. All right? That is the major point. Some of you just like to log in, play some blitz games, maybe study a course, maybe watch a streamer to get chess into the mainstream. All right? Which is the next step in the big picture for everybody involved at the highest levels of chess. Chess.com knows how to do that better than anybody else. You compare the side by side commentary quality. Now, I'm not talking the commentators. Some of you like commentators more than other commentators. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the overall production. All right? Folks, I know for a fact, without naming names, people in the overall world who are in sports broadcasting for major news networks, for major TV networks, for major sports leagues, are leaving their jobs to come to chess.com. You know who I'm talking about. Some of you might watch this. I'm not going to say any names. That is what's going on right now. People want to move to chess to help it expand on television, in the esports world, and chess.com does that better than anybody else. And it seems like a match made in heaven to bring in Magnus Carlsen, who is not going to defend his world championship and who might be looking at different avenues of a career. Tony Romo, all right? One of the best football commentators now, but he was a decent, very, very decent, very good quarterback back in the day, is what I'm told. That guy turns out to be a great commentator. Imagine Magnus commentary. I mean, oh my goodness, right? So this is why it's happening. It's either definitely some financial stuff involved that no one's going to talk about that. They're going to talk about growing the game, and they're going to talk about this and ready for the next thing. Yes, absolutely. So are we. But nobody does this, right, if it's not a financial thing, right? So I'm gonna be your voice of truth and kind of like discerning corporate speak. Now, last section that I wanted to cover here was Is this good or bad? Okay, so first things first, I saw a lot of stuff about Monopoly. And I gotta tell you, that was, I mean, the first thing that I was thinking of is, wow, we're all kids of chess.com now, huh? You know, we're all the children of Danny Wrench. He's a family man. He's got a, you know, he's got a big enough household. I'm sure he's happy. He doesn't need any more of us. So yeah, that's mildly concerning. I mean, very mildly, right? So what I mean by that is, in the sense of like mildly concerning, is what's going to happen to the other companies and the other employees. Oh, look at that. This individual is going to be famous who wrote a message in my Twitch chat while I was live. So what's going to happen to the employees of the other companies, right? All these other companies that were under Play Magnus Group. But the other thing is, when there is one group of individuals that are going to be the decision makers for the chess market, what it means for their innovation, their risk tolerance, certain products that they want to put out, when it's just going to be chess.com, despite having input from multiple places, it's just going to be them. The thing about having chess.com and chess24 or Play Magnus Group is that they can do different things and you go, oh, dang. Like, that's cool. That's cool. The negative is Hikaru doesn't play in the Meltwater Tour. Magnus doesn't play in the Rapid Chess Championship or Title Tuesday. And you always have this rift, right? You always have this, oh, they're over there. That's their clubhouse. You don't want to go over there. You want to be over here with us. But now we don't have that. So it's a good and a bad. I don't know what it's going to mean in terms of a monopoly standpoint, right? I don't know. Airlines are a monopoly. Mattresses are a monopoly. I personally know that the individuals who are responsible for running chess.com, they don't seem like people who would charge you for a bottle of water on a plane, all right? Like they do on Spirit Airlines. Spirit, don't sue me, but you guys literally do that. Or maybe not, but you charge for everything else. Like you don't even have reclining seats. Like what is wrong with you? So that's a thing, right? Like that's a concern in terms of, well, like this is the company that's now going to decide chess events, content, educational stuff moving forward for the most part. That's a question mark. Now, this is a massive win for fans. Massive. It cannot be understated how incredible this is. Like, this is so sick. Magnus is going to be playing in all these different events, right? We're going to be seeing a lot of content built around Magnus. So there's a whole question of Magnus versus Hikaru. Maybe Magnus is even going to start streaming a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe he's going to take his money and get the hell out of there. But it's a huge win. This is super exciting. I don't know what the future holds, but this is super huge. Chess.com now has Hikaru, Magnus, and the largest chess YouTube channel signed to it. Me, you're watching it right now. Now, I grew up on chess.com before any of this was even happening. A lot of you don't even know this. I shared this on Twitch before, but Danny Wrench called me in 2018, 2019, before any of this chess boom, before I had a YouTube channel, and he told me that he thought that I could be great. He was like, you should probably not have a career in anything else. You should do this online stuff. You should stream more. You should do YouTube more. You have a knack for this. A lot of you don't know that about Danny Wrench. I didn't necessarily start my YouTube channel because of him. Of course, it helped that the world shut down, the pandemic. But listen, Danny knew and foresaw a lot of this stuff years ago. A lot of this boom, a lot of this, like, obviously we had Queen's Gambit. Nobody could have saw that coming. But Danny Wrench is a savvy for this stuff. And they got a good team of people there, and now they're bringing in the world champion. They're bringing in the intel and the connections that he has. I feel like you can only really be excited. This is a massive win for fans. The question of the monopoly is there. It's just a question. Again, I don't know. And it is fun to have competing websites and competing teams where people play. But at the end of the day, if we can get one tour of tournaments, online and offline, from the top down, I think everybody wins. I don't think we have to have a Meltwater, a Rapid Championship, a Grand Chess Tour is always going to be there. But this is great. I think it's a win. I'm excited, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Did that summarize everything for you? I hope it did. I'll see you in the next video. Get out of here.